Some of my other friends who were not serving life were in prison for addiction and drugs, which is how I landed there. And one of them was my friend August. He's the one that was with me when I knew something was about to happen, and he was up for parole, or he made parole. And I sensed it, and I told him, if something goes bad, just take off running. And moments later, somebody hit me in the head with a lock, and simultaneously I pushed Augie out of the way, and someone slit my throat. The rest of that story is for another time, but Augie's felt bad about that since then. That was in 2018. There was nothing I would have wanted him to do but go home, which is what he did. That's prison. That's the life I chose to live when I chose to sell drugs. Augie's been in this system just like me since he was a kid, and he can't get out. He's, I guess, at the precipice of getting out, but he's struggling, and it's a lot of it to do with addiction. But I know, because I talk to him on a regular, he is sincere about changing, and that's the first step. This is a warning, though. He is a bit vulgar with his language. That being said, this is one of our conversations I think I made before I decided on the podcast thing, but I knew I wanted to do something, which is why I recorded all of my conversations with my friends.
What else is that bread even toasted?
No, jail style, baby.
You're not in there anymore, man. Let it go.
Institutionalized. So what else is new with you, man? What have you been doing?
Man, with me, I've been a mess. I mean, I've only been out. Well, actually, I'm going on 8 months now. The first 6 months, though, I don't know, going through anxiety. I mean, I did 12 years and then thrown right back into society. I started having panic attacks. Oh, and when I first got out, I started putting on weight too. And I mean, really fast, like 10 pounds in 2 days. So I went to the doctor, and yeah, within 2 months, I gained 50 pounds and lost 70. Yeah.
Holy fuck! What?
And what we determined was that I then I was diagnosed with kidney disease, and what it stemmed from was that COVID shot. They gave us that one they recalled. Yeah, the one well, all right, and in prison they basically forced us to take them, because it was, if you don't take it, we have to isolate you. And their form of isolation was the hole. So we all lined up to take it. And the first day that they did it with those recalls, they did our block. The next morning, it's on the news. This is being recalled. And the superintendent or assistant came down, and she gets on the microphone because people were starting to bang on the door. You know, they're, what's on the news? Read this. That's what we just took, isn't it? We're going to die. So they're like, so they come down and they hand us all these papers, you know, like waiver forms.
No.
Yeah, none of us signed them, but they really tried to get us to it. But then because they said, you guys, yes, that was recalled, but you guys didn't get the bad batch. They caught it before it got here. So, I mean, we're all, I guess it pacified us enough. And, you know, I didn't realize it then, but my legs started swelling up. I just attributed it to the fact that, you know, I'm locked in 24 hours a day, and I was eating turkey logs, you know, for a snack. So I'm thinking, dang, the sodium, I'm putting on weight. That was. Were you in jail during COVID at all?
Yes. Listen, they did some fucked up shit to me in there because they sent me back, and I was in retreat for like 2 months, and I closed it down. But they had us all locked in, letting us out to shower once every 3 days. But then the most fucked up part is when we left there, they took us to Forest, And at Forest, they threw us in the whole. I gotta think of who the fuck it is. I'm gonna think of who we knew that ended up there because he ratted while we were there, and they shipped him out. But he was there in PC in the hole. But they threw us all in the hole on the whole block, and made us. We weren't allowed out of the cells except for to make a phone call in the morning once every so many days and shower so many days. But they illegally put us in with the inmates from the hole, like we were in the hole. It was fucked up, man. Yeah, and I did 4 months in there. It was fucking gay. Yeah, you went through the whole system thing.
We did. I did 2 years during COVID. The whole COVID, I was in there, which lasted us 2 years. We were locked down. What was the time is 23.40 because we're all right. We're allowed out 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes, make a shower or a phone call basically, or if you can do both real quick. Yeah, and then in jail you just become accustomed to it. And when it finally did start opening, I remember they had me on to go up to medical, and when COVID ended, I was 304 pounds. And you don't realize when you gain weight until people say, damn, dude, you put on some weight. And although actually there were signs because I couldn't reach certain things when I was doing certain things, like using the bathroom. So I'm reaching and I'm like, dang, man, I must be fat. All right, so I'm going up to medical, and I walk. By this time, I'm on J block, and I'm walking up to the gate, and I get to the gate, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta stop. Muscle atrophy. I had to stop 3 or 4 times, man, and everybody was doing it. Like I look around, and there's other people like breathing, sitting on the sidewalk. None of us had walked anywhere in 2 years. Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
They should have contributed the time for anybody in jail as like at least double. So if you did a month, that should have counted as 2 because that was rough.
It was rough. It was rough. That's what I said. It was fucking rough, and I thought I was gonna go. I was like, because they picked me up when they picked me up on my. It was messed up. I have to tell you this real quick. So they picked me up. Or no, my PO came to my house to take me to rehab, right? So him and this other new PO came to get me. Well, unexpected. I was high as shit, blah, 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 all methed out. Well, I fake a panic attack because I forgot I had a fucking $250 in my fucking pocket, and they're like there. They want to pat me down and take me to Cambria County right then and there. Well, I fake a panic attack. And it was so fucked up because like I'm breathing and it's taking so long for this ambulance to get there. I can't keep up the act. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So, and I'm like looking up and I see my PO in the background on the phone with the hospital ship. And he's just shaking his head because the other PO is like, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, oh, like so they take me to the hospital, needless to say. They find the fucking bag of the meth. It was like a $250. So they said that there was nothing going to be done. It was weird because they were trying to get me. Is what they used this for. But anyway, they said I talked to my PO. I did my parole violation. They let me out. So then, weirdest thing happens. I'm trying to back this truck up to my house. I can't get it up there, so I'm going to go down around the street. Well, mind you, I don't have a license. So I got this girl's truck, and I'm going to drive around the block. Dude had ran from this story's crazy. So this dude had ran from the cops that day with a gun. So he had a black hoodie on and a black hat. Well, that's all they knew, and he had a gun. So I didn't know this at the time, but they surround me, right? So like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, moving this bed. I said, my daughter and my friend are up there right at the top of the hill. I said, I'm just trying to move this bed. They're like, well, you fit the description with the dude with a gun. And I'm thinking, and I'm fucked up too. But I have a fucking pocket full of fucking shit, of different shit. So I'm all fucking sweating. I'm like, you're like, they're feeding me some bullshit right now. I said, really? He's like, yeah, we're going to run your name. And if everything's all right, you'll be free to go. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, as soon as they run the name, they're going to see I ain't got no fucking license. They're going to pull me out. They're going to find all this shit. I'm like, fuck. So as I'm sitting in the truck sweating, like worried, like about what's going to happen here soon. So these other cops are everywhere. When I say everywhere, because a gun in Du Bois is bad. So this other cop's pulling his backpack out from underneath a porch, right? He's like, oh, this must have been his backpack he stashed. I said, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, this is not, like, this ain't happening right now. Like, this is
you're making me dizzy. Don't stop.
Sorry. I know I didn't get my pop. That's what I do. That's that ADD, because that's not no fucking speed, brother. I get excited. I'm like, let's smoke sativa.
Aren't you taking any medication for it?
I'm getting ready to start taking Adderall.
So I'm on it. I'm going ready to go do this program. Man. It really helps.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're afraid to give it to you because it's so abusive. People abusive. But when somebody like us takes it, we're so hyper, it doesn't affect us that way. It actually slows us down.
I'm hoping it does that. Listen, and that's the guy said that the other. He's like, well, he said, are you hyper? I said, no. He's like, well, you seem a little hyper.
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't know. But so, well, what the fuck was I telling you? Oh, and I'm excited just to talk to you. I got so much to tell you.
This has been since 2018. And I mean, I just kept hearing stories from Cheney, Tennessee. I had Tennessee look you up. Gosh. And when I first got out, I started looking people up, and I mean, their Facebook. And three of them, the first three that I looked up were memorials to them. You know, this Facebook is a memorial to this person. He's dead. And that's when I was like, man, I can't look up anymore. That's why I stopped. So I really didn't start coming to until January, like 6 months after I started. Because I was locking myself in the bathroom. I mean, I made my bed as a prison cell. I enveloped it with curtains. It's just how I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Still get up at count time. Still go to bed at count time. If I hear keys, man, I still like when I go to open a door, I still have that, I'm ready if somebody's on the other side mentality. I still, tighten up.
Yeah, it fucked with you, man. It did some shit to us. Like, yeah. But the key thing, that's funny you said about the keys, because I had the same thing when I hear them keys. But then I got a maintenance job where I got to carry them all the time, and they were jingling on my ass.
So how did that work? So you're making yourself anxious?
It was all right then. I heard them all day long moving. I didn't have to just think one key, like, oh, there's a guard coming. Oh my God, them fuckers ringing. I don't have to hear nothing else.
So you changed the association. That's a good idea. Sort of just put yourself in it.
Yeah, right.
Ensconce yourself in. I'm gonna put on an officer uniform. Then I won't be afraid of officers anymore. I'm gonna get a police car, so I ain't afraid of police cars anymore. You're driving around. Oh shit, there's a cop. Wait, I'm in a cop car. I'm good.
I'm good. Holy shit. Yeah, so fucking. Oh, so anyway, the story back that story I was telling you real quick. I'm trying to get it because it's so crazy, man. But anyway, so they run my name, see I don't got a license, and then they tell me I have a warrant for a possession charge. I said, "What are you talking about?" I don't know. They were like, it was about $250,000. I said, from the hospital, they said that I didn't have. They said, well, you've had a warrant here since this date. I said, I was in prison. How'd they let me out of prison with that warrant then? I don't know, but we're going to go take you in Iranian. And I'm thinking like, motherfucker, now I got that. And now they're going to go, because I had a teener of ice, a half ounce of fucking, what the hell did I have? Teener ice, a half ounce of weed, 2 Xannies, a Klonopin, and 2 Viagra pills. So, yeah, I didn't have nothing bagged up, but they were all in separate bags.
Sounds like they pulled me out the car.
Yeah. So they pulled me out the car. And, oh, mind you, I had $500 in my wallet that day, too. So they pull me out the car. They start patting me down. Well, I'm like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get to the pocket. So what do? I fake another panic attack, right? So I'm like, so I'm sitting like on the road on my ass, like leaning against this cop's like foot, like he's standing up. I'm sitting on the ground, like trying to catch my breath and doing the whole routine of a panic attack. Well, the cop's like, Mr. August, he's like, just get up. He's like, don't do this. He's like, you just did this how long ago with your PL? And he knew all this shit. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not. He's like, we're just taking you down to arraign you on this possession charge. It's a possession. You're not going, because it was right during COVID started. So we're going to let you go. We're just going to arraign you. And I was like, bullshit. When you stand me up and pat my pockets down,
yeah, you're going to find out why.
Yeah, so sure enough, they take me to the hospital. They pat me down. They find all my shit. I was given a hard time at the hospital. The cops fucking head first through the hospital door in front of all these hospital ladies. They threw me in the back of the car. I had a wife beater on. They took my boots and gave my money to my daughter, all my money, gave it to my daughter with my boots, threw me in the back of the cop car, drove almost 30 minutes to the jail with the it was in February with the windows down in the back. Oh, when I got to that fucking jail, I was freezing. I was blue as shit, shaking like a little leaf. I'm like, them cocksuckers. But the good thing is though, this was right at the beginning of COVID. So when they found all them drugs, mind you, the Viagra was not in my police report, so somebody done snatched my Viagra.
let that be on the record now.
Yes, right. So they come to me and offer me 4 years probation just because it was possession, because everything was bagged up in bags. Like the meth was with the meth, and there wasn't no baggies. It wasn't for sale. It was my personal shit. So they come to me with 4 years of probation. And I said, what? I said, I'm not for possession. I said, that carries a 1 to 2 max, which I'm thinking prison time. Like, that ain't shit. You know what I mean? So I said, I'm not signing that. Like, well, what will you sign? I said, I'll do the 2 years probation. You run them both together and you count my time as I'm going to do my parole hit. They were happy as hell like that. I could have beat both of them. For one, they found the fucking meth in the hospital, which you're not allowed to do that after that, especially if it's considered like a OD. And the other one, they illegally stopped me because they said I fit the description. So I could have beat all that, and they knew it. But by the time I got out of doing my parole hit, I had 2 months left on that, and I walked it off, and it was off of it. But so they take me back though that day. They took me back to the county jail. So when I get in the county jail, I'm telling all these people this story that happened about me getting pulled out of the car. And they're like, I was twacked out. I was all fucked up on coke and fucking meth and shit. But this story was true. So they're looking at me like I'm this fucking weirdo, like he's twacked out telling stories, da-da-da. I hope you ain't. Yeah, I hope you ain't.
Just in case.
You gotta cut that out, man.
Part two.
My fault. Well, so I tell them this story, and they're looking at me funny, like I'm the new guy on the block. So after that, I'm walking around. This new dude comes in. We go out to the yard. We're walking the track. I'm talking. We're getting to know each other. And he tells me this story that he ran from the cops, had a gun. I said, did you run from the cops up on South Brady? He looks at me. I said, did you have a black hoodie and a black hat on that day? He's like, what the fuck? He's like, how the fuck do you know that? I said, you motherfucker. I said, you're the reason I'm in here. I said, because they thought I was you. And the dudes on the block, when they went back and they were pissed. Like they ran them off the block and everything. Because they all looked at me and they're like, we're sorry, man. We was just looking at you like you was a fucking nut, man. I'm like, no. Yeah, it was crazy. It was fucking crazy, man.
I hate the county jail, man. I
know. You haven't gone back to you haven't been back on a parole violation or anything?
No, I've only been out
for you.
8 months.
I was only out 4 last time.
Well, yeah, Tennessee was only out 5.
Yeah.
How the heck did you go back that quick? What did you do? I'm thinking about this past 8 months. Where would I have done something? When did you have time? I didn't have time. I don't have time.
I made time. Oh, dude.
What was your first violation?
My first violation, but they go through, and you remind you that they put you through a thing. If you give a dirty urine, they give you a written warning. Next one, they give you verbal. The next one, they put you on a house arrest. And if you don't comply, like there's a step process they have to go through. It's like a 5-6 step process before
Right.
they can send you back to prison for using drugs.
I'm aware of that. That's why I'm saying, how did you go back so quick? Because
I mean, they popped. Go ahead.
you didn't know this, but I started studying the law then, and I got certified in paralegal through Blackstone. So I'm familiar with all these parole laws and probation laws. So that's why. And Act 122, like you have that option to house arrest first before, and then you can do 3 months. So that's why I'm so baffled that you in Tennessee, you guys are back so quick. Like, what did you guys do? How
we
did
used up all that? We used up all of our chances and stuff. Yeah.
You used up all your tokens.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason the 4 months thing was fucked up because, well, like I said, when I had gotten out, I got back into what I was doing. Well, this is so fucked up. So prior to that, me and my best friend at the time went to this dude's house to get some shit, whatever. The dude gives me a fake $100 bill, right? So I'm like, oh, I'll take that, cool. So, and then I'm high, and then I'm leaving the house, and I'm like, this is gonna be bad. I better. And so I crinkle it up and I throw it down, right? My buddy, my best friend, fucking grabs it. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not." I said, "I'll get in trouble with that." I said, He's like, "Oh, fuck that! I'll take it and save it." Needless to say, we go our separate ways. So he gets caught at a store. He tried to use it. One of our friends' girlfriend worked at the store. He tried to use the bill, and she's like, "No." She's like, "That's fake. You're all fucked up. Get out of here. My manager's here. You're making a scene, and that's not." So he's all fucked up, makes a scene. Well, cops call. He was so fucked up. Cops come into Unimart to get him. He has an 8-ball of meth on him, and he runs over to the window of the front store, the big fucking windows they have, and he looks at the window and looks around and throws his ball of meth at the window, and it hits the window and slides down, and they fucking grab him up. So needless to say, he's gonna tell. They let him out. Well, two of my other buddies, kids, mom, whatever, they screw the same person, the lady or whatever, and they had a kid together. So he goes and says to my buddies, we're all in our little selling mode, whatever. So he goes to my buddy and says, "Listen, I'm going to tell." So they fucking snatch him up. They say, "Listen, when you go into that fucking meeting," because he had to go meet with them, the DA, the judge, the cops, the undercover cops, all the shit. So they said, when you go to that meeting, you're going to wear a tape recorder. And when you go in there, you're going to say, "Well, how can I help you?" You know what I mean? Like, who are you looking for? And that way we would know if they were watching us, because they would fucking tell them like, "Oh, we want him and him." So he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. So he wears his tape recorder. I heard the tape recording because I'll never forget the phone call. My buddy says, "Oh, your best friend telling on you." I said, "What?" I said, he's like, "Here, you want to hear the recording?" I said, "What?" So needless to say, so I heard the recording.
You guys are wiring. You guys are wiring
the rats.
That's clever. That's clever.
So he goes into the fucking meeting, and I heard the whole thing. Like, they're like, "Oh, Mr. God, what can you do for us?" "Well, I can give you such and such. August. Oh yeah, he sells meth too. Like all these other people sold petty shit, and like he put this is my best friend, mind you, for fucking 20 years, but just had no, like, threw me right out. He's on parole right now, and it was crazy, man. Because I haven't, I can't even talk starting to think about it because I haven't got to see him. Yeah, and I'm worried. I'm nervous. I'm scared if I see this dude, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Because there was some other shit that I could have got 5 years when I was on the run, and I was staying at his house, and he had the TV stolen so his other friend's mom could reclaim it on insurance, and they could get a new TV and sell that one for drugs. So called the cops, told him I broke in because I was staying there. It was fucked up, yeah. And thank God for my alibis on the run that. They said once I got caught, I told them, I said, listen, I said, I have alibi. I said, I didn't break in. I'm not that dude. I don't steal. I don't rob. I'm not that dude. She's like, well, I'll check your alibis. We're not going to get nobody in trouble because you're already in custody. You're back. But if you were lying, your alibis, I'll be back. So she never come back. Thank God. Like I said, the two people that had me on the run, I had to tell them. Like I said, I'm sorry. I said, they have to verify this so I don't do fucking 5 years in prison for a fucking burglary that I didn't do. Yeah, it's fucked up. So,
The life of
what
a
was
criminal.
oh yeah. Well, listen, it's a story. So he says all this shit on this recording. He gets out of the meeting. He goes back to my buddies. My buddies beat the fuck out of him. Get the tape recording off of him. Send it to everybody because he put some big names out around where we live and shit. So spread the word, right? Cops got wind of it that now there's a recording of law enforcement and fucking
that's a big deal.
like making deals. So they fucking go, they arrest my one buddy on a ride. My one buddy rides, he's so twacked out. He would ride a lawnmower back and forth into town to get food and shit. They got him on his rider.
Oh, one of those.
Other buddy. Yes, but my other buddy, which me and him were really tight and going the same person and all whatnot. So we talked a lot and we had the same PO. Well, he gets in they go pull him over because they want him now for this fucking tape and shit and intimidating witness. So he takes the fuck off. Well, the cops wreck him and they fucking catch him. Well, my PO gets his phone, looks in it, sees all this shit about drugs and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know this. And then the next day, I think he's up in my house, like, oh, I need a urine. I'm dirty. So that was my first dirty urine. I knew I was good. I'm like, shit, yes, he can't do nothing anyway. Well, here I didn't know that he knew all this stuff about the drugs and all kinds of stuff. And he's like, 90 days house arrest. I'm like, what? I said, this is the first dirty urine. I said, what the fuck? And I didn't. He's like, you're just doing it. And that's how, the whole thing, me going back. And that's how that started. Yeah. Because I was doing good. I thought I was doing good. I wasn't working, but I had my own apartment. I was fucking, you know what I mean?
He wasn't taking any tokens.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's supposed to be a process here. There's supposed to be a verbal first. Where's my verbal?
Something. You got to bypass it. Yeah, hop, skip, and a jump to my fucking point of view. Like, what the fuck? Them fuckers. Yeah.
So then
but that's all good. I finished out in fucking May of 2023. I've been off since then.
Oh, so this wasn't that long ago.
No. That's how I ended up here. It's been a fucked up ride, man. It's been a fucked up ride for me, too. I did about 7 of that 9.
This is like one of those stories
I'm trying to get my shit together now. I went on I was doing a little too much shit and fucking it started interfering with work. And I worked at a St. Martin Center. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
It's like a churchy place. Like you have to be, you gotta know how to speak. And like, I fucking was in the hallway, dropped fucking goddamn, somebody stole my fucking laundry. What the fuck? Well, wrong thing to do in a fucking Catholic place. I got all fucked up. I was thinking like I said, it was bad where I got fired from my job. And like, I was going downhill real fast. And thank God, like I said, my ex and shit, she been there for me and fucking pulled me out. Like, she's the only one that I can listen to. Like I told her, I said, I need you. I know it sounds fucked up, but when I'm around her, I've been around her. I haven't done a fucking drug. I'm getting my shit back together. I got some jobs going now. Like, I was fucked up for a minute. And Fry, speaking of which, let me get into this.
I got 4 minutes and I got to pick up my nephew.
All right, I'll tell you. We'll talk about Friday. You call me tonight or something or whatever tomorrow if I burned you out, man. I'm just excited.
No, this is hilarious. And I mean, because I was thinking I'll record it just in case, because some of these conversations, I feel like, dang, people should know this. This conversation, I'm like, this is a crazy conversation. Who would I even title this?
Don't put that first one in. And I'm sorry. I was like, I mean, you can, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'll start talking more because I keep forgetting about all that.
Reminiscent. And you're talking about this stuff like it's like so years and years ago, and you're like, oh no, this was last week. This is I'm fucked up now. What do you mean?
So, yeah.
So I mean, there's so many stories. There's so many aspects of the criminal life. You know, the arrest, the court, the jail, the parole, and then the aftermath. And I mean, you were like on a wheel of it. And like when you went to the court, like they're not expecting people to know what to say. I mean, you sitting there negotiating like it's your lunch. No,
and that's have
you seen that movie? The movie, oh man, it's with Dax or something.
Dax is it?
Dax is it? Dax Shepard, and he intentionally goes to jail because he wants to kill his judge when he gets out of jail, and he realizes that the judge dies. So, but his son then, and then he goes in intentionally, and when he goes to the court, he's like. It's like a negotiation with the judge. She's like, all right, how does 4 to 8 sound? No, how about a 2 to 4 and with probation? But wait, there's more. I want to go to SCI, blah, blah, blah. She's like, why would you want to go there? 3 words, Your Honor, location, location, location.
Location.
That's like what you just described.
That's what it was too. It was right during COVID, and I knew like that. What a simple possession only carries a 1 to 2 max, and that's state time. You know what I mean? You want to drag my 4 years, run them wild from each other, and give me 4 years of paper, which I'm going to violate, and it's going to turn into a 2 to 4. No,
that's what they do, though. They try to scare you into that or get you on probation, and where you never leave. But
that's it.
We would be called veterans.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be called that though.
Right, not of this. They try to keep us away from people that are in like the county jails or in the courthouses, because we explain to them what they're doing. Like when I go into a courthouse, they're like, no, you can't talk to them. Well, I'm a paralegal. I can explain something to them. I can't give them advice, but I can explain something to them. No, you can't. I always say, don't waive your preliminary and don't waive your Rule 600. They get you every time.
I was just gonna say that. Never. I was just gonna make sure that was known. Do not ever waive that preliminary hearing, because that's the evidence that they're gonna present that they have against you, and they might not have enough.
Right, and that's your good chance to get stuff thrown out.
Yes.
Because if nobody shows up to testify, they can't show up at court either. Then
I didn't learn all that. I didn't learn all that till my 4th number.
They
took me all that
time. I mean, most cases can be beaten at the preliminary, and then let's just say hypothetically the judge is on the cop side, which happens. You file for a motion to suppress. This was not substantiated by prima facie at that preliminary, so this can't go forth.
That's it, but. Yeah, I'm glad you got your paralegal, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I had to do something, but now I get out and I learn Forbes. They put out the top 10 jobs that are being replaced with AI, and paralegals at the top of it.
So, yeah.
No, I'm getting replaced, man.
Oh, I thought you were replacing the AI. No, the AIs are taking they are. I noticed that. You can even get a girl AI. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, who wants to talk to a computer? Like, what the fuck is that?
I know. You don't know who you're talking to anymore. I get scared like when I'm looking at like these pictures. I'm like, is this real? Is this a real car? Is this a real girl? All right, Augie, I got to go pick up my nephew. Let's do this again, though, man. Let's go talk to you.
Dude, whenever you get time, if you want to call me tonight, you can. If not, give me a call tomorrow, whatever.
All right, bro.
All right, man. It's good talking to you.
You too. Have a good one, Augie.
You too. I miss and love you, man.
Listen, love you too, bro.